Hello students, so let's learn how we can use Microsoft Access to work with tables. So let's click on start button and go to Access. From over here we are going to create a blank database and we are going to give a name to this database. So let's start with the name of a school, our school, PVNS. We'll just tap the enter button. As you can see, I had already created such an database account. It is asking if I want to replace it or not, but at this point what I want to do is I do not want to replace it, I want to create a new file. So I'll just give a name _1 to it. Click on the create button and then our database is going to create it, and we are going to be greeted by Microsoft Access with a default table 1 3. So we have learned about this. Now Microsoft Access is specifically used to store data through a table, and a table over here can have a maximum of 255 columns, and there is a no limit for rows. That means we can store unlimited data in the rows. Now we have to remember one thing, that as this is a database, within a database we cannot have two tables with the same name. Now whenever we are going to create a table, we need to put data in it, and without data nothing can work properly. So therefore we need to create a table in design view, and when we are going to create table in design view, we are going to create columns and we are going to assign those columns with proper data types. With proper data types, the columns will be able to hold the type of data that we want it to hold to. So let us begin to create a table in design view. So to do that, we will be clicking over here and then to move on to design view. And as you can see, once we try to go to the design view, over here it's asking for the name table. So let us, for example, we are going to name the table student details. I have just put an underscore in between the name student and details, and it is always better to put an underscore between two words if you are giving two words for a name of a table, a form, or any object in Access. So press enter or click on the OK button. So as you can see, we are modifying the current table that was given to us already. So the ID column has already been created for us, and under the data type column, as we can see, it is written auto number. Now what does auto number mean? Auto number means that Access is going to generate a sequential number whenever a new record is added to a table. So therefore when we start adding a record to a table, automatically a serial number of 1 2 3 4 automatically it will be entered, and we do not need to enter the IDs by ourselves, but usually this is kept to enter or to keep the serial number of the students instead of the roll numbers. So therefore we usually use the number data type that is given over here, the number data type. We use it to store all kind of numeric information that can also be used for calculations. Now we have to remember that this number data type can have a maximum field size of 16 bytes. That means this field can store up to 16 bytes of data. Now over here it is written ID. I'm going to change it to roll number. So I'll put a caps on, and so that it is for better understanding. As you can see, I've again put an underscore symbol between roll and number. Always put a roll underscore symbol between the two words if there are multiple words in a field. Now over here, as you can see, this is the description column. In the description column, we can put a comment that why and for what purpose this field is being used. It is not necessary. As you can see beside the description, it is written optional. So it means that if we can write something in it, but we also can avoid writing it in case it is unnecessary for you to write it. So therefore this is something that is we can do. Next, moving on to the next row over here, remember that whatever row we are creating over here, these are the columns of a table. So first we created a roll number column with the type number. It means this roll number column is only going to take in numbers and not any other values except numbers. That means if you try to enter alphabetics in it, these or any other special characters, this field is not going to accept. Okay, that means this column is not going to accept it. So now moving on to the next one, let's write student name, student underscore name. So over here, as I press the tab button over here, you can see short text over here. For Office 2007, this can be set as only text, and this particular field can hold up to 255 characters. That means you can write up to text that has a length of 255 characters. Now, more or less, we do not need such huge number of characters for our students. So if you do not want to keep this as up to 255, you can definitely come to this field size option here and remove this 255 and put a number that you like. That is, if I want, I can, instead of writing 255, I can write 50 over here. Okay, so therefore it is up to you that how much you want to keep the size. If you want to let it remain as it is in default, we don't have any kind of problem, and you are also not going to have any kind of problem while creating our table. So this is something we can really address on. Next, we can write father underscore name. So this is also going to be the same thing. Just press the tab button, and by default it is going to take short text. Text means we can enter any kind of data and everything will be considered as text. Okay, so this is something that we should keep in mind, that even if we write numeric values in this field, what we can do is that with this field we can keep any kind of values. So numeric values are also going to be stored over here as text, and if you store numeric values as text over here, you won't be able to calculate anything with those values because those will be treated as text. Next, moving on to the next row, we can create a field for address. Okay, we can create a field for address, and here we can have short text as well. Now moving on to the next row, we have age, and we can keep it as number, and even if we want to keep some more other things, such as if I want to keep class for the student, that also I can keep as number. Okay, so this is something that we can create very easily. This is how we can easily create a table. Okay, now as I showed to you that over here we can definitely change these properties. Actually, these properties are called field properties. That means the one in student name I had changed to 50. I had made a change under field properties. That means there are some properties attached with the field. So over here I am going to keep up to 50. For father name also I am going to change it to 50. We do not need so much number of characters for it, whereas for address, an address can be long, so we actually don't know how many characters we need, so we are going to leave the field size as 255. Now in case of age, usually a student, what can a student's age be? Maybe there can be long things, but instead of going to a long integer, we can definitely go to byte, so that a byte can hold up to a numeric value of 255. So we don't think anyone student will be there who is going to have an age 255, so we are definitely at a good place to store such like that. And similarly for a number also, we do not need a class that is going to be, for a school a class can be up to 12, so we definitely don't need long integer, and we can hold up to byte. But a school can have lots and lots of students, so more or less if we use this long integer, or even if we just use integer, it will be more than enough for us to store all the data for students. So this is how we can set the field properties, and we can create a table using design view. Now what we need to do, we need to click on the save button to complete the saving over here. Now I would like to discuss one thing over here that I haven't discussed till now. You can see when I click on the roll number column over here on the design tab, under the tools group, we can see the primary key command button is activated. Now what is a primary key? Now primary key is kind of a key that usually checks every record in a table whether or not the data in the table or the data in that particular record is unique or not, and it does not allow any kind of duplicate data. Usually a table can have one primary key, and we usually fix a particular column as a primary key which does not have duplicate values, such as there cannot be two students with the same roll number in a class. Okay, or there cannot be, even if suppose if we are working with an university table for students, so therefore in a university there cannot be two students with the same university roll number or such thing. So therefore this is what we call is a unique value, and this unique value can be identified, or sorry, unique value can be used to identify a record in a table, and hence we can select the roll number as a primary key. Now creating a primary key is a very easy thing. So if I just click on a field and click on the primary key button, as you can see it now the field, from this field we have removed the primary key. Now if I want to assign a primary key, just click on the field over here and click on primary key. So this is going to apply the primary key condition on this field. So as we can understand that yes, this particular field is a primary key, and this field will not be allowed to take duplicate values in it. Okay, now suppose if I want to add a new field in a particular place. So suppose after the father's name I want to click on this address and click on insert rows. I want to add one more column over here directly. So if I give over here mother underscore name, and we can keep it as short text, and we can remove the field size from 255 to 50. So we can definitely do that. Okay, now if I want to delete a field, the process is similar to by right clicking on it. So I will be right clicking on it, and as you can see the term is given over here, delete rows. So if I just click on delete rows, we can definitely delete the field from over here. Now suppose if we want to move a field from over here, I can definitely drag it from over here to this one, or if I want to move it to over here, I can definitely just hold and drag the field to move it to the position you need to put it in. Okay, so we have a proper thing over here. So we can have a class, then a roll number, then a student name, then the father's name, address, age. So more or less we have reached a part where more or less we have completed the entry of data. Now as we can see over here, we have not yet discussed some of the other data types over here. So rather than putting directly something or I don't want to create one more field over here, but I am going to discuss the type of data types that are available in MS Access. So we have already discussed number and short text. Other than that, we have long text. Usually long text is used for descriptive fields. That means where you can usually you need to describe something, you need to write something, and this is a very large field, and usually you can store a lot amount of text over here. Now moving on to large number, we have already seen large number. How it works is just greater than number over here, and it can store a huge number over here. Okay, so usually the format is given over here. If we want to check out how the number format is going to be, we can definitely use any kind of format. Usually when it is a large number, we use scientific notations to denote the particular type. Now we have date, time at a place. Usually at this point I am showing you Office 2016, so it is definitely going to be a little bit different from Office 2007. Now over here, date, time means we can assign a date and time for this particular field over here. We can enter date or time in this field. Now whenever we are using date time extended, as you can see from the format drop down over here, we can use the date and time. We can check date and time at this particular field instantly. Okay, so date and time extended means both the date and time will be displayed in that particular field. Next, we can easily understand that currency. Usually, whenever we are talking with numeric fields, or we are talking about numeric fields can have lot of decimal places. But whenever we are talking about currency, actually we can have a currency format, and along with it we can definitely select the type of format that we are having. As currently we are using the OS that I have installed is an OS India OS for Windows 10. Hence we can, as you can see, definitely the rupee symbol is coming automatically for it. Okay, next, moving on, we have already discussed auto number. For yes or no, usually whenever we use this particular option for whenever we want to have only one possible value. Okay, so suppose if we are asking, are you handicapped or not? Okay, so either I can select yes or no for this. Okay, next we have OLE object. Usually this is a field where we can attach or we can insert another application, such as Microsoft Word document. We can attach an Excel spreadsheet or a PowerPoint presentation to this particular file we are having. So suppose I want to keep a database of all the students, those who have submitted their presentation files to me. So I can definitely store those database presentation files with me in a single database, and whenever I need to mark a student, I can definitely mark a student from whatever databases they have, whatever portions or whatever presentations they have submitted. I can definitely do that. Now next one is hyperlink. Usually hyperlink we can easily understand. These are places where simply we can store links to different web pages, websites. Even if we have LAN connected with the system, or an FTP site where we are going to store a lot of data, we can definitely store the links to those. Next we have attachment. As you can see, we can definitely attach images and spreadsheet files and other document types, usually whatever our databases support. And this is like an attachment system that we do in email or even WhatsApp. Also we attach some files, we like to attach some files or documents, some images, and this feature works as similar. Now we have one thing that isn't available in Office 2007, that is a calculated field. A calculated field contains a formula whenever we need to do some calculations, and we need to store the calculations in this field. So using that calculated field, we can definitely store some data in it depending on some formulas. Next we have lookup wizard. Usually lookup wizards are used whenever we need to refer to a different table. So suppose we have a field over here. Let's talk about a field state. That means I want to select the state a student belongs to. So therefore I need a list of states over with me. In that case, we use a lookup wizard to get a drop down table whenever we are using this particular field over here. So now let's use this particular field to store date of birth of the student. So we can definitely write date of birth. Okay, and we'll be dragging this. Let's drag this over here. Let's drag this particular field over here. Okay, so we did it up to this much. So these are things that we need to know about creating a table in Design View. So we learned about data types, we learned how we can create a table in Design View, we learned how to set field properties, I learned about primary key and how to set a primary key, we learned about adding a field, we learned about deleting a field, we learned about moving a field, and the next thing we need to learn is that how we can enter data in the table. So after creating the table in Design View, what we need to do is we need to click on the save button, and to get the view where we want to enter the data, we'll be clicking on this view button over here and click on this datasheet view. As you can see over here, automatically the values or the fields, as you can see, the data we entered in that particular design view, those things are being displayed over here particularly. Okay, so this is how we can definitely we are here where we can definitely enter the particular record of a student. So how can we do that? To do that, just click on over here. So suppose you are in class 8, so you can enter over here class 8. You can enter the roll number, maybe 1. Let the name of the student be something like let's start with Vijay Sharma, and let's the name of the father's name be Ajay Sharma. Date of birth could be, as you can see, once we come to the date of birth column, automatically we get a calendar over here. So if we click on this calendar, we can also select a date from a calendar. So let's get a date. You can easily definitely click over here to browse through the dates over here, or you can definitely write something over here. So suppose you want to give a date, so I'll give maybe 28 and then 2005. Okay, so this dates can be taken very easily. So over here we can definitely just enter the date like this, and for address, let's give address like Mayapur, Nadia, West Bengal. Okay, so this is how we can enter data over here, and as you can see, we can use this particular field over here to enter the age. So in this column we can definitely enter the age, where we can more or less calculate that 2005 to 2015 10 years, and 21 we can definitely enter 16 over here. Okay, so this is how we enter the data over here. As you can see, in the age column we could have kept that age column as a calculated column, where we could subtract the current date today from the date of birth, and we could get the actual age of the student over here. Okay, so this is something we can learn in a different class, as the calculated data type is not there in our syllabus, so we'll discuss about it in a different time. So how can we edit a record in a table? So as you can see, this is what we call is a record over here, and we can definitely add more record. Okay, to just to add more record, you need to click on this blank row over here and remove the 0 from over here and continue typing with this. Now, as I said to you previously, that the roll number column is a primary key column. So even if I try to press, let us check that whether or not this row is accepted or not. So let's write a name over here, and let's check over here. Let's say 16 4 2004. Okay, let's give this address as Nadia, West Bengal. More or less we can see it's 15 years. Now as soon as I want to accept this data, it says the changes you request to the table were not successful because they would create duplicate values in the index, primary key or relationship. Change the data in the field or fields that contain duplicate data, remove the index or redefine the index to permit duplicate entries and try again. So that means it is saying to us that this contains duplicate data and we cannot continue saving it. So just click on or cut this one, and we have to remove this one from over here, and then give 2, pressing the tab button and moving forwards. So after that it is going to accept our data. So therefore this is how we can simply continue to move on with the work that we have done. if you want to add more data, we can definitely add more and more data to it. So this is something that can be done. Okay, now if I will just pause the recording for a moment, and I will enter a few more details to the table and definitely get back to you as quick as possible. So I have made 4 entries to the table, in total 4 entries to the table. So we can little bit understand how we can at least work with some of the things. So now as you can see that how to edit the data, just click on a table's particular part you want to edit. So suppose if you have made this mistake entering some value, just click on it, and you can just erase the data from over here and write the data. Okay, so this is how we can easily edit the table that we have over here. Now moving on, how can we sort the data? So suppose I want to sort the data, we already have it sorted by roll numbers. Now if I want to sort it in ascending order using the student name, so what we need to do is click on this drop down arrow beside student name, and we can say sort A to Z. Just click over here and your data will be sorted automatically, and it will be reflected throughout your table. Okay, so as you can see, a sorting option is given over here. For descending order, you just click on sort Z to A, and everything will be sorted in that way. Similarly, you can do this with any of the fields with which you need to sort your data. Okay, so this can be done for any other part of the table also. So whichever method or whichever column you need to use to sort it, you can definitely use to sort it. So now after sorting it, we have only one last thing left over here. That is, what if I want to delete the data or delete a record from a table? That is very easy. Just right click on that field and click on delete record, and you will be warned before you delete the data in the table. You will be given a warning by MS Access. It says if you click yes, you won't be able to undo this delete operation. Are you sure you want to delete this record? So as you can see, if I press the undo button, this is not going to be recovered. So be careful before you delete a record, because you won't be getting it back if you just press the undo button. Okay, so now if I want to delete it, I'm going to click it on yes, and our record is going to be deleted over here. So this completes the chapter over here, or this video over here. If you have any doubts, you can definitely ask me. Thank you.